Ladies and gents, welcome back. Another beautiful spring day out here, and we are just getting into it today. Started working on a couple things, and we got a new project dropped off. Let's check it out. Well, here she is. This is a little Yamaha XT225, I believe. It has been sitting for quite some time, I suppose. It has a flat front tire, so we're going to have to put a new tube in it. Carburetor clean and maybe rebuild depending on how bad it is. We shall see. I noticed that a few things on the carburetor weren't hooked up, like the fuel line, and the choke was kind of pulled out. I don't know, some stuff looks a little hokey pokey on here. I don't know if that's factory or not. Yeah, we're got our hands full with this one. I'm also wondering if that's the stock sprocket size. That looks pretty small. I think it says it's a 45. Might have to Google that. But yeah, cool little XT project to dig into. I've also been playing with the flat track bike, and I know that you guys have been wanting me to make a little video on it, so here we go. Started to clean it up. I had taken off some of the body work because I took pictures of the frame and posted them on Facebook to a couple flat track sites to try to figure out who actually made this frame. It's just something I don't for sure know yet. So, I don't know, if it looks familiar to you, if you're a flat track expert and you want to tell me who built this frame, I would be greatly appreciative. But in the meantime, I wanted to pull the brake reservoir off and try to flush these brakes. They're definitely bad news going on there. But this one seems to be a little bit stripped, so that sucks. It doesn't hang up, which is good. You know, I can roll the bike. But yeah, we need to figure out what we're going to do with this one, and also figure out if it runs. I have no reason to believe it doesn't. The previous owner told me fresh motor, never even got a chance to race it. So yeah, it'd be cool to get this bad boy started. I'm having different thoughts on what I want to do with it. I wanted to make it into a street tracker, but honestly, the amount of money that it's going to take between an electric starter, which I don't think would work with this frame anyways, is the electric starter's $2,000 alone, just the starter. Then, you know, we'd have to wire it and do a little trickery with getting it licensed, which that costs money. I think it's probably $400 or $500 to have the correct paperwork made up for it. So I'm thinking about selling it, you know, just as a flat track race bike, which is what it is, and let somebody, you know, who's going to race it actually have it and enjoy it. That's kind of my thought right now, but you know, my thoughts change every 5 minutes, so we'll see. So this is definitely a bike that I would like to get out of my way, so I figured we could try and get her to run today. I threw on a new carburetor, but it's not getting spark, so been digging into it. I just checked the points. The points actually look good, and the gap is correct, so that looks good. The next thing I kind of want to look at is the wiring, but on these Trail 90s, they have everything buried. So we have the air box pulled away. There's a bunch of 8s or 10 mils that hold all this stuff on, and to get the tank off, we kind of actually have to take a lot of stuff off. There's a bolt down in there, and then we have to take the top part of the exhaust off to get back into there. It'll just make things easier, but I'm hoping with that off, we can access the electrical that's inside there. I don't know. I've never worked on one of these little Trail 90s before. These little Honda engines are all very, very similar. This one's cool. It has a high and a low range, like the little 110 three-wheeler. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Let's rip the exhaust off and see what we can do. Well, this kind of explains a lot. I didn't think that this bike had a battery. I thought it was, you know, like a total loss system, kind of like my 110. But no, it's not. It's got a little battery to her, and this is where you access the electrical goodies. Oh, who is excited to go on a parts run? Are you guys excited to go on a parts run? Always excited. All right, so I threw the Trail 90 back together, kind of. Did a little internet homework, and apparently these won't run without a battery. So we're going to get a battery, and then we'll go from there. But I think we should start on the Yamaha. And now we're on to the Yamaha. So this is a XT225. I think it's like a 2002. And the first thing that I want to do to it is pull off this front tire and throw a tube in there, and I think I have one. I better have one. I better double check. But that would be nice just for rollability. And then we will move on to the old carburetor. Like I said before, we got some stuff that is not hooked up. Yeah. So we gotta figure out what the heck's going on there. That's just missing altogether. So yeah, this should be interesting. Maybe that goes on there. I don't know. Oh, hopefully the interwebs will have some answers and schematic or diagram, because I don't have a manual. After the fiasco we went through with the dirty gas on the Harley, I'm really hoping that the gas inside this tank isn't too bad. It doesn't look too good. Wowzers. That's a little dark. Alright, so I decided to just go ahead and drain the fuel out of her, because that doesn't look too good. I figure we'll drain it all out and then put some fresh stuff in there and just see if we can flush it through. Start with that. It didn't even get to the carburetor yet. Well, I put the bike up on the stand to do the front tire before I did anything else, and, well, things kind of snowballed. Got the carb off of her. So this is the carb here. It's a McCooney, and I don't know. It sounds like there's something rattling around in there. So let's crack this baby open and see what's going on the inside, but I don't know. That doesn't sound right.
Republicans are the ones who have gone far right.
Oh.
They call Tucker Carlson far right. It's like,
whoa.
Tucker's been on TV for a decade, like more than a decade, okay? He sat down with Cenk Uygur and they agreed on many things. The far liberal must attempt to interfere in our 2016 presidential election.
Oh, that doesn't look too bad.
The administration knew this was going on and yet did nothing in 2016.
I didn't even have to loosen that with the screwdriver. It just came right out. That's kind of crazy. That's not good. Not good. So I hope this shows up on camera, but that to me looks like brass shavings that came out of this carburetor. Oh boy. That makes me nervous. It almost looks like sand, but it's too shiny. I did a spray down of the carb to get all the major stuff off of it before we put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, and I was able to get the gasket out of there. But before we put it in, we're gonna go and just lightly, without doing damage, just scrape out all that crud that's in the groove there, and then hopefully we can get a nice good seal. The owner said that it just pisses gas like nobody's business. So something's leaking, and I'm not surprised because everything was loose. Alright guys, that's going to be a wrap for today. Made some progress on the XT, which I'm really stoked on that. I'm going to hunt and look up carburetor parts because that one jet, I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's going to get unclogged. But we're going to soak the whole body overnight, and tomorrow we will get back after it and do some other stuff. So as always, thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe while you're here, and we'll see you tomorrow on the next one.